We are live streaming. And I understand if you don't want to be on video, you can totally turn off your video. It's totally up to you. It's fine just as long as your audio isn't muted so that I can actually hear you guys and talk to you guys whenever you want to say something. Okay, so chords. Um, there we go. We'll just pretend that there's a treble clef on it because me drawing a treble clef using the whiteboard is going to be not a fun time. Okay. And this is not the 1500s. We need all 5 lines. All right. Okay. So, cool. All right. All right. That's fine enough. All right. So, hi, everybody. Okay. So, chords. Yes. The reason why we're here is because we want to get speedier at chords. Or if you don't know how to build them, or if you are second guessing yourself more often than not, that's what it is when you're actually trying to do these speed tests. And so the reason why the circle of fifths is there is because that's literally the key to everything. So the one chord in any key is what?
Major.
You mean the quality?
Major. And it's a 4-note chord, it's major 7. Right. What about the 2 chord? What is it?
Minor.
Minor
7.
And minor 7. Minor and minor 7, yes. And that's literally all the information you need in order to do all the speed tests. So when you're doing C major 7, the notes are actually on the circle of fifths. So this has an arrow. Great. Okay. What is that? Okay, so C to E. There you go. E to, yep. Oops. C to E. You have to do it each time. Oh, that's lame. E to G. And then G to B. That is a major 7 chord, right? So that's literally how, oh, hi, Louise. That's literally how it happens. So wherever you start, because it's major, you start on a major key and you just zigzag. And that's where you find your C, that's where you can find all your triads, and that's where you can find all your major 7 chords. It's also based on keys too, if you wanted to. Like if you want to know what the 1 chord is in C major, it's half and figuring out what it is, right? So also I should say, sorry, that's actually Sibelius. It's a composition of his. Sibelius is a dude, by the way, if you didn't know that. All right. So like if you took this, for example, let's see, there, you could see that probably. Oh, that there, for example, is what chord?
I can't see anything.
Sorry, Laura, I can't see
Oh, you
anything.
can't see. I'm not
Yeah,
sharing.
no.
Yeah.
My bad. We'll close the whiteboard.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. Let me see if it'll come back. Okay. That's lame. Okay. So what chord is that?
An F major 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And you know that because let's see if the whiteboard comes back. Um, Yay! And you know that because if you go here, F, A, C, E, that makes an F major 7 chord. So if you have your circle of fifths written on your sheet, like for the written exam, like for the in-person exam, you'll have staff paper there, and you can actually write stuff down, and you can draw yourself a little circle if you want to, or whatever it is you want to for when you're answering about chords. But for the written exam, there will be a circle of fifths on the actual test as part of your points. So I highly recommend the very first thing you do when you do the written exam is go straight to the circle of fifths and fill it out, right? Remembering a couple of things. One, that the capital letters are on the outside, and that it's Father Charles goes down and ends battle if you start at the 11 o'clock position. And if you start at the 2 o'clock position and go backwards for minor, battle ends and down goes Charles' father. And then you just fill in the rest, right? Or whatever method you're using in order to be able to see and hear chords. Cool? All right. So there's that. So that's what we want to make sure that you're more comfortable with, is actually identifying chords based on where they are in the circle of fifths. So that's major chords. So F major 7, F, A, C, E. Great. Okay, what if it was a D minor chord? You would start with a minor key on the inside, and then you know your alphabet, so you can spell thirds. What are the notes in D minor? D.
F A.
C.
Yeah, D, F, A. And a D minor 7 is D, F, A,
C.
C. Yeah, so that's a D minor 7 chord. Yeah? Cool. So then, and individually, you all have certain things that are making it so that it's hard for you to do these tests. So if individually we do have time, I do want to go through everybody and see what it is specifically that you need an extra boost on. But just for a second, we're just starting at the beginning with how chords are built. Good. So if you go back to, now that I know that it'll actually, that's lame that it's going to turn off that every time, but okay. Share. Okay, cool. So now if we go like this and we go like this, what chord is that? Like, what letters are those, first of all?
D,
D, F,
F,
A, C.
D, F, A, C. Nice. Now, where is that on the circle of fifths? So remember that thought, and I'll go back to the circle of fifths. So D, if you start over here, would be F sharp. So that's not the right D. So it's not a capital D, it's a lowercase d. And what is D, F, A, C?
A minor 7 chord.
It is a minor 7 chord. It's D minor 7. It is exactly that. Yes. Cool.
microphone working.
I'm sorry?
I was just wondering if my microphone's working or not, but I guess so. Yes.
Yeah, it is working. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure.
And good. Any questions so far about that, Butch?
So
No. Yes.
yeah, for minor chord, we go from the minor in the like when we did the D, like the D minor 7, we start on the D and then F,
That
A.
D.
Okay, we go straight up and then across and then up again.
Yeah. It's literally really right.
Yeah.
Making it bigger. Oh, really? That's bizarre. Let's try that. There we go. So yeah, so it's going to always be a chord with a D and an F in it. There's your answer. There is the D, F. That is the chord. That's the beginning of the chord. Now, is it going to be D, F or D, F sharp? If it's going to be D, F sharp, then you start on the capital side to get a
Right.
major chord. But if it's D, F, you start on the inside to get to the F.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Sweet. Okay. So there's that. Okay. Okay, cool. So Brett, where in particular do you, and I'm only just going by what's on my row here in front of me. So that's why you're first. So I think it's ordered on the way you entered the chat. So what in particular is hard for you about chords in getting them right away? Is it that they're in inversions, or is it that they're these, or what is it?
I think it's to do with inversions, but I started doing a lot of my homework and I'm starting to understand it better.
Oh,
It's mostly the inversions though, like um
okay.
yeah, and the figured bass from prior was also pretty hard, but we're not doing that anymore.
No, we're not doing that anymore, but you will need to do that next semester. So, what I can do, and so far, like I said, no first year class has ever taken me up on that, is that the weekend before school starts, I'm happy to do a Zoom session. I'll post it in Instagram, where I review figured bass and other stuff that you need for second year, if you want to. But like I say, nobody ever asks, takes me up on it. So if you want to, totally fine. I'm totally happy to do that. But no, figure bass is no longer a thing um, once you pass your minuet in G. So in other words, when you do the minuet in G, if you're still doing that, if you're still trying to hand that one in, that one needs figured bass. Yeah? Okay. But now, from now on, no, there's no more figured bass. Cool. Okay, so for you, it's inversions. Jack, what about for you?
It is inversions for me,
Mm-hmm.
as well, and especially
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but triads because there's no crunch. It's hard for me to
Right.
know what the start, like what the root of the chord is. And
Right.
also with building chords, but I think the circle of fifths kind of and knowing how to use it kind of takes care of that. So I think
Okay.
maybe just practice on that, and then um triads and inversions. Yeah, that one for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so triads and so I'm just writing this down. So inversions, I'm going to go sevenths. I'm going to go triads. Great. And then what about for you, Jenna? Oh, also, by the way, I live in Port Moody, and I'm surprised that we haven't had a freezing event yet. But if I freeze, I'll be right back. So go ahead, Jenna. And what in particular is it for you for chords?
Well, now that everyone else is saying inversions, I think probably that too. But I think the main thing is that I just default to counting like the steps, like the half steps. So
Right.
like some of them I initially like I know right away, like if it's an A chord and there's no C sharp, I know it's minor, but like sometimes I just like to double check and counting if it's three steps, half steps, or four half steps. But I guess that takes me longer because when we're doing the exercises that you sent, I don't necessarily find those difficult. It's just probably not the fastest method, but it's just what I default to, I think.
I see. I see. So then, good. So for you, you want to start learning to default to key signatures. That's
Okay.
a great way to default because it'll take you like in every case, the one chord is going to be major.
Yeah.
So if you know your keys, then you know how many sharps and flats there are in things. Then you can go as fast as people who are not doing that. So it'll get more. In other words, it'll get more fluent, more fluid, and more fluent. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
So
it's
that
just
would be
kind
the
of
next step.
like I think just like not even the key signatures, but just making sure something is diminished, I guess. So like counting the
Mhm.
intervals just to double check, but then the double checking takes me longer.
Right. So another way to look at diminished chords, that's good that you said that. Another way to look at diminished chords is make them minor and then flat the top note. So again, your key signatures. So if you know that the chord, like if you know that the key of D minor, does my mouse show up here, by the way? Like on, no? Okay. Right now it's on the D. No?
I don't think so.
Minor. That's the key of one flat. So that's the key of D flat, right?
You're
You
frozen.
froze, you froze.
Oh, fuck. I froze. Okay, am I frozen still? Let me know.
No, not
Am I
No, I
anymore.
don't think so.
frozen? I'm not frozen anymore?
No.
No.
Just repeat what you're saying about the D, please.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, that's Port Moody for you. Okay, so the D, the lowercase d, which is at the 11 o'clock position, the key of D minor is the same as the key of F major. In other words, one flat, right? Meaning all the letters in the alphabet are going to be plain except for the B. That's going to be flat, right? So if I needed to do, if let's say I was in the key of D minor or the key of F major, it doesn't matter, but I saw an A, C, and an E flat. Well, ACE is normal for F major, and so that means it's minor. ACE flat. Now there's a flat that's there that's not B flat, so that means it's smaller. That makes it diminished. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Let
You
me
just add, well, you just add a flat from over this,
Oh.
like to the fifth. That's what you're doing.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
if it's seventh,
literally.
then you make sure that the seventh is flat as well.
For one more time,
Like if it's
what's wrong?
if it's a diminished seventh, then you don't not only have a flat fifth, but then a flat seven.
Well, for a diminished seven, you're going to want like a double flat. So you're going to want like something serious because they're all minor thirds, right?
Yeah.
So that's a great question. So let me show you this. Here. Okay. So we're in the key of, oh, let me put the key of one flat there. Is that too small, too big?
That's fine.
That's fine. Okay, good. So we're in the key of, there. We're in the key of D minor. So that's D, F, A flat, A natural, right? That's D minor. We're going to make it diminished. So we go like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Now what we need to do to make it a diminished seven chord is we need to put a third on top of it, but make this interval from here to here a minor third. So you knew from your circle of fifths that minor thirds are right above each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like A to C is right next to each other on the circle of fifths. So that's a minor third. So A flat is not there. So A flat to C flat is the minor third. So sometimes it's flat and sometimes it's not. So like, for example, let's make it G diminished. So G to B flat is a B flat, right? B flat to D flat, that's a minor third, right? So that made it diminished. So that makes that a G diminished, right? And then D to F are right underneath each other on the circle. That means D flat to F flat are also minor thirds. So that's a G diminished chord. Yeah. Let me do this. Instead of having to go back and forth, I could do this. Stop share. I could do this. Circle of fifths. Cool. I could go like this. Cool. I could do that. Now I can show everything, and then you don't need to go back and forth. So that is Zoom. Share all. Cool. Okay, so I can get rid of that. There's the circle of fifths, and there's staff paper. Okay, so G, B flat, right? G, B flat. Can you see my mouse?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so G, B flat. So that's a minor third because it goes G, B flat, D, F for a G minor seven chord. So G to B flat is a minor third, right? We need to make another minor third because they're all minor thirds. So B flat to something is a minor third. B flat to D flat. Those are all minor thirds. Every one of these is a minor third. F to A flat, C to E flat, A to C, B to D. Those are all minor thirds because I'm starting on the inside and going straight out. That makes it a minor third. So B flat to D flat, right? Now on the inside, there is no D flat minor, right? But there is a D minor. So D to F is a minor third. That means D flat to F flat is a minor third. Or for that matter, D sharp to F sharp is a minor third, meaning if they both have the same letters next to them, it doesn't change the rule. So D to F is the same as D flat to F flat, is the same thing as D sharp to F sharp in interval. Those are all thirds. Those are all minor thirds. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, that's great. Okay, good. Okay, so that's how you do the diminished thing. So other than that, It's just a matter of spelling. So I'm suggesting that you get really good at your keys for a couple reasons. It's faster, and it also helps you with another part of theory other than just spelling chords and intervals. It gives you can spell intervals, chords, and know your key signatures as well. Like know that if you're in the key of three flats, that you're in the key of this one. So you're in the key of E flat major, or also C minor.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a good question. So I'm going to put this diminished sevenths. Okay. So let's build a cold diminished seventh chord based on no key signature. Okay. Okay. So somebody tell me a fully diminished chord that you want to build. So there's no key, no sharps, no flats. So anyone you want to build.
A.
A fully diminished. Okay, good. So let's see. Let's do it the long way. So A, right? A to C is a minor third. Do you see that there? Yeah. Cool. Now we need a minor third, so you go in to out for a minor third. So C to E flat is a minor third, and then um, hang on. There. That's a diminished chord. Now let's say you want to do a diminished seven chord. You go E flat, and you go in to out, E flat to G flat. So you go, oops, there. That's a diminished chord. Now let's pretend for a minute you didn't have, let me go like this. Yeah, let's pretend for a minute that E flat wasn't in the inside, right? Like it's right there, but let's pretend it wasn't there. And you needed to come up with like another note, like say F flat or something. So E flat, right? So you go to your E and you go out to the G. And you're like, okay, plain letter to plain letter. So E flat to G flat, and you get it that way. And that's an A diminished chord, A fully diminished chord. Does that make sense? Yeah?
If you're
Okay.
doing, because I'm thinking about the C chord, like because there's no, like you would do C to E flat and then E flat to G flat, but because there's no G flat in the inside, you would just go to F sharp then?
Oh, no. Yeah, good question. Okay, so you would do this. You'd go C. Oh, it's playing. Okay. C. So you said C to E flat. That's right. Oh. C to E flat, right? Then you would do E flat to G flat because E flat to G flat, right? And then you need to make the seven. Well, there is no G flat in the middle, right? So find a G in the middle. Find G in the minors. Where is there a G? Below the B flat, right. So you need this to be G flat. So you need this to be this, but flatter. So B flat that's flatter is B double flat. So let me go like this. You're currently, my thing is in the way. There. Double flat. There. That is, sorry. That is C diminished. Does that make sense? Because the G, you needed it to be flatter. So the B flat needs to be flatter.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Yeah. Sweet. Okay, cool. So there's that. Now you guys are, okay, now you guys are gone. All right, so that is that. Okay. But other than that, inversions, sevenths, and triads, right? For you, Jenna? Yeah? Okay. What about Anthony? What's good? What'll help you? What do you need? Other than I have written down
Um,
inversions, sevenths, and triads, so I'll do
yeah,
that next.
I think the
Anything
hardest
else?
thing for me during the tests was kind of
Mm-hmm.
just the dominant chords and diminished chords, which we already looked at. But yeah, that was
Mm-hmm.
basically it. And then again, all the speed tests are on like Fridays, which are like the worst days. But yeah, she froze again.
9 a.m.
You just froze. So
Fantastic. Am I back?
you're back now, I think.
Yeah. I said Fridays are the worst days because, I don't teach till 3, so I'm grading at my desk starting at 9 o'clock in the morning. So my eyes are all squirrely from 6 hours of grading at that point. Okay,
Okay, well,
good.
yeah.
So dominant and diminished chords. Okay. I'm writing that down. You mean secondary dominant and diminished, or just any dominant and any diminished?
Well, I think it's more like dominant and diminished. I don't know, it gets hard when it's like the different keys when it's like I think I just have to work on the keys more because I get to like the sharp keys and I'm like, oh, it starts on a sharp. Well, what key is it on? I have to build the rest of the
Ah,
chord kind of thing. So I
ah,
always get like, I don't know, I get confused sometimes. So
that's okay.
I do have to take more of a look at the keys and just like memorizing it. Like I'm
Yes.
already been doing a bit, but I have to do more.
Mhm.
And just with all the
Yeah,
assignments that I haven't had enough time
of course. That's
to,
normal.
but um,
That's
yeah, I
totally
think it's
normal.
just
What is
more
your
time.
instrument?
Guitar.
Guitar. Okay, good. So playing them on the guitar will also help too,
Yeah.
right? And then for
Yeah.
secondary, because then
I'm
you
sorry,
see
go
the
ahead.
spacing. Like literally, my guitar students, when they're in third and fourth year, and I'm asking them questions, they'll do this at me while they're saying the answer. I'm sorry, I don't know which is the right hand, but they'll do this. They'll be doing this.
Yeah.
So having it in your fingers on your guitar also helps. So yeah, cool. All right, good. So there's that dominant and diminished. Brendan, what about you?
It was really just secondary dominance and diminished. That's it.
Secondary dominance.
Mm.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, I got that. Louise, what about you?
It's like more on the inversions and the key signatures as well. Like I try to like memorize the circle of fifths so that way I can like yeah. But it's getting better. When I was like
Okay.
doing the practice on tone savvy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Good.
I
Good. Good.
understand.
Good. Okay, very cool. Okay. All right, let's deal with inversions and seventh chords then. Inversion triads and inversion seventh chords. So, um, let's say, get rid of that, get rid of that. So let's say we have this. Um, oh, sure. There. Okay, so let's say that's what we have. What are the letters of the alphabet? Let me pull up there. There you can see everything. Oh no, I didn't hit share yet. I'm getting better. Okay, share everything. Cool. All right. So here are the notes. There's A, C, and F. Okay. So A to C is what? What kind of third
Minor
is
third.
it? It's a minor
Minor
third.
third.
Excellent. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. And then also, um, okay, cool. Also, now you have this. So you have the A and the C, and then there's an F. Now, this is especially for Jack then. So you see how from here to here, it's not a third? That means
Yeah,
it's not, yeah, that means it's not in root position. It is an inversion.
right.
Okay. So what we want to do is we're going to take that A, that C, and that F and flip them around until they are thirds. So A,
Okay.
C, F is not. Okay. So if we take that A
Mhm.
and move it up the octave, okay, C to F is still not,
Yeah,
right? If we take that C and move it up, aha, they're all in
there we go.
thirds. That's how you know F, A, C. It's an F chord, F, A, C chord,
Okay.
right? Right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
so there. That's where it started. Okay, so it's an F chord,
Mm-hmm.
but there's an A in the bass. The
Right.
lowest note is an A.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an inverted chord. This is F over A.
Oh, it's that. Easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. let's do another one.
Yeah.
And make sure, because you're not the only one on the call that's asking this question. So let's say we have, let's go like this. Cool. Let's say that that's the chord we have there. What notes are those? C, what, and what?
E flat and A flat.
Good. C, E flat, and A flat. As you can see, they're not in, there's no third there. It's bigger, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to move up the C. Okay, it's still bigger there. I'm going like this. Nice. Now what
Yeah.
chord is that? A flat, C, E flat. We go over to here to find that answer. A flat, C, E flat.
So
Did I
it's
start on a... Go ahead.
so it's an A flat major chord, but I can't remember the first.
That's okay. I'm gonna go backwards to find out what it was. There. That's the big
Okay,
one.
with a C in the
So
bass. So it's A flat over C.
it is.
Okay,
That's it.
gotcha.
That's excellent.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Good. All right. So that does triads. Now, some people had a similar problem with inversions. Okay. So I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna go like that. Take these two things. I'm gonna be lazy and just reuse them. No, just kidding. This is what I meant. There we go. Okay. Cool. So Rhett, for example, what we have now is what notes are these? This, and this. What notes are those?
A, C, E, and F.
Right. Can you see how E and F are close to each other?
Yep, it's the 7. E
Yes.
is
So
the
that's
7 of F.
nice. So then I go like this. Now it's in root position.
F major 7.
Right. F major 7. And then it had what in the bass?
It had the A in the bass, right?
Yeah. There.
And that would
That.
be first inversion, right?
Yes, because root position. Yes. So the whole terminology thing. Root position means nothing's changed. It's all threes, right? First inversion means it's been flipped once. Oops. It's been flipped once.
That's what was confusing me before. I always mixed up first and third inversion.
Okay. This is if it's in second inversion.
Yeah.
So that would be F major 7 over C. Oh, C, right? There, over C. But the E and the F are still crunchy. So that's still an F chord. But the C is in the bass. That makes it a second inversion because root position is always with the F on the bottom. That's root position. First inversion, second inversion, third inversion.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going back to this now. Okay, cool.
Laura,
Yeah.
so I just have a question about the third inversion.
Yeah.
When the C is on the top, we just say that that's it's over E?
Yeah.
Oh, because that E's on the bass. Yeah, okay, wait. Gotcha.
E's on the bottom. Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind.
Cool.
Cool.
Cool. Okay. And I'm going to put it down here so you guys can see it better. There. Yeah. Also for stacking, notice that this is how the computer's stacking them, how it's supposed to be stacked when you're writing, meaning as close as possible, everybody in a row, and then the weird one on the side. Right? So like when it was up the octave, as many as possible stacking in a row, the weird one on the side. So that kind of thing.
Got it.
Cool. Cool. And then Anthony, so like for this one here, what are the note names that you see there? C, what, and what?
C, E flat, G, and then A flat.
G and then A flat. Nice. Good.
Yep.
So C, E flat, G, A flat. So we need to move this around so that it is in root position in order to know what chord it is. Or you could remember your 1,
So
2, 3,
basically-
2, 1, 7, 1. And that note, and
it would be A flat, C, E flat, G.
nice. So what chord is that?
So that would be. Sorry, let me just think for 30 seconds.
Please.
Oh, that would be
Here it is over here, by the way.
Could be it. Sorry, I have to, yeah, I have to build it in my head.
Yeah.
But well, that would be A flat major chord.
Mm-hmm. It would be
Yeah.
A flat major 7, because here's the A flat on the outside, on the major side. A flat C, E flat G. It's right there on the wheel. So A flat major 7 over what?
Over C.
Yep, over C. Absolutely. That
Also,
makes
one other
sense?
thing is, yeah,
Mhm.
when we were doing the test, bass clef is super hard for me. I just remembered that, so I have to work in bass clef. Does Laura just freeze when I talk to her?
Maybe.
Let me see.
You froze again.
No, I'm frozen again?
You're good now.
No. Okay,
You're good now.
good. I was like having a tantrum over here. No, no, not just when I talk to you. I heard you. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing with bass clef. You see how this is F major 7 over E, right?
I
It's
don't
not
see
being
any.
shared right now.
Oh, shit. That's because I was trying to unfreeze. Thank you. I mean, shoot. I shouldn't have said the other word. Okay. All right. So F major 7 over E. Now, bass clef. Let me put this one up the octave. Good. Can you see how this is an F here, right? That one right there, that note there. Bass clef is a third lower. That's an F there.
Yeah.
So it's
I
always a
get
third
that, but
out.
I'm just slow at it though. Sometimes I'll be doing it and then I'll forget that I'm in bass clef. Because I'm trying so hard
Right.
to figure out what the chord is. So sometimes,
Right. So what I okay, perfect. So that the cheat for the not the cheat, but the trick for that is to when you get a speed test like that, because there's going to be more speed tests. Because not because I'm trying to torture you guys. That's just an added perk to the job. It's because I'm going to be actually trying to make it so that you guys can rock your worlds next year and be no problem. Okay. So what you do then is if you know they're going to be in treble and bass clef, and I'm telling you right now they're going to be in treble and bass clef, do all the treble ones first. Like scan for all the treble ones first, and then go back, and then all you do is switch once because now you're like, okay, now I'm in bass clef, and then everyone you look at is now bass clef, and that's equally as fast as going in a row. In fact, it's faster because you're not flipping back and forth.
okay. That's good.
So that's what I would recommend. Okay, and then Brendan, what about inversions were you were secondary dominance and secondary diminished, right?
Yeah, secondary dominance and diminished.
Okay, cool. Cool. So what a secondary dominant chord is, or a secondary diminished chord is a 5 chord that's not the 5 chord of the key. Right? So like if we're in
Right.
the key of G, what's the 5 chord?
That'd be D.
Right. Good. D. Perfect.
Mhm.
So instead I'm gonna go do this.
Nothing's being shared right now.
Sorry, I'm still trying to
Oh,
make it.
okay, yeah.
No, but I should actually make it in front of you. Yeah, let me do that. Okay. Um, okay. So there, and then, okay. Ultimately, instantly, without looking at the key signature for a second, what
Yeah.
chord is that, Brendan?
That's a dominant chord. Or
It's
a
a
dominant
dominant
7.
chord. It literally is a dominant chord, and it is a dominant chord as well. Yes.
Mm.
So, no chords. Yeah, A7. A7. Okay. So A7 then is a secondary dominant because it's a dominant chord and it's not D7 in this key.
Yes.
That part makes sense?
Yes.
And for the rest of you who are you still trying to figure out if it's A7 or not, look over at the wheel here. A, C sharp, E, G sharp. You're like, oh, that's an A major 7 chord. So I need to make this flat. A, C sharp, E, G. Now it's a dominant chord. I'll let you think about that for a second while I'm working with Brendan. Okay, so A, C sharp, E, G. So what is it the 5 of? Like what A7 is 5 in what key?
D.
Right. So it's 5/7 in D. Great.
Yeah.
Now the original key is the key of G.
G.
What
So
is D in G?
It's the 5, so it'd be the 5 of the 5. Okay.
Yep. Does that make sense?
Yeah. When we were doing the speed tests, weren't we doing secondary dominance and inversions as well?
Yep.
I think
Yep.
that's what
And
was
without figured
slowing me
bass.
down. And yeah, that's
Ah,
what was slowing me down. And when we did it with
like
figured
that.
bass, yeah. There was
Okay.
just a
Yeah.
lot of steps to do, and that's what slowed me down.
Okay, cool. So what you want to do is do repeat. It's actually it winds up being a little bit easier with secondary dominant and secondary diminished that aren't in a key, right?
Mhm.
Because if you know that it's a dominant chord, then you know, like, okay, it's a dominant chord. You don't need to know what key it's in. You just need to be able to put it in the right notes in the right places. So A7. So let's say that this is what you get in front of you, right? You're like going,
Yeah.
okay, well, that's A7. What's on the bottom?
The C sharp.
Right. So it's A7
7 over
over C sharp. Yeah, sure. Over C sharp.
Yeah.
And that's the answer.
Yeah.
So let's say you get given this the other way around. So let's say you get given, we're in the key of G, but you get given the chord G7 over F, right?
Yeah.
What notes are they? So first of all, put them in root position so that everybody else can still keep along with you.
So you got G, B, D, and F.
Yeah, so G, B, G, B, D, and F. And that needs to be something in order to be dominant, because right now that's a G major 7 chord. So what do we need to do?
You gotta flatten the 7, so that would be the F sharp. So turn it into an F.
Yes, natural.
Natural, yes.
Yeah, cool. And then to make it G7 over F, so I would, if I were writing it on a speed test, I'd write it like that, which is half points anyway, and then just go like that.
And just erase it and put it at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly that. Same with diminished chords. Diminished chords, and see, in this case, I'll put it back here. So this is for everybody else now. So G, B, D, F. They're all thirds apart from each other, right? That's how you know that the chord is right. And then flipping it is how you know that the chord is right for the question. So it's G, B, D, F, but the F's on the bottom. That's how you know it's G7 over F. Same is true for diminished chords. So there is no fully diminished chord in a major key. So pick any diminished chord you want and we'll spell it. So Brendan, go ahead and pick any diminished chord you want.
Let's do E. E diminished.
E. Okay, what are the note names for E diminished? Just the letters, not the flats, not the sharps. Just what notes are they going to be?
E, G, B, and D.
Yeah, they're going to be some kind of E, G, B, and D. Lovely. Then you go over to your trusty wheel if you need it. But I don't think you need it, but let's pretend you do.
Okay.
E to G, is that a minor third?
Yes.
Okay, now G to B needs to be a minor third, so what do you do to the B?
You flatten the B.
Yep, you flatten the B like that. And then B flat, there's the minor third. B flat to what?
D flat.
Right. So now let's pretend that the question was, that's the chord, right?
Yes.
So let's pretend that the question was E diminished 7 over B flat. What would you need to do next?
You'd have the B flat would have to be on the bottom as the
Right. So
bass note. With
there.
the D, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yes.
And that's how you know that it's actually in that inversion with the E and not a B flat diminished chord, because it's some kind of E, G, B, and D.
Okay.
In this order, it's B, D, E, and G. Can you see how D and E are close to each other?
Yes.
That's how you know it's in inversion.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Let's do another one.
Okay.
So pick another diminished chord. There's only 3.
Let's do F sharp diminished.
Good. So for that purposes, then, what note names are they going to be? Not the sharps or nothing.
Okay.
Just what are the notes?
F, A, C, and E.
So I'm just seeing if everybody else is catching on too. So F, it's going to be some kind of F, A, C, and E. Cool. So the first thing becomes, you said F sharp. So
yeah, F sharp.
Duh, F sharp. Cool. F sharp to what is a minor third?
F sharp to A.
Beautiful. A to what is a minor third?
C.
Yes, beautiful. And then C to what is a minor third?
E flat.
Cool. So question for everybody else. Are you seeing my cursor going over to the circle of fifths?
Yes.
Good. Sweet. Okay. Phew. Okay. So let's pretend that the question then was F sharp diminished 7 over E flat, right? What do you need to do next?
The E flat needs to be in the bottom.
Like that. And then as you can see, it's some kind of E, F, A, and C, and E and F are together, right? So E, F, A, C. So F is the root. This is the 7. It just needed decorations. It needed an F sharp and it needed an E flat.
I think
That
I'm
makes
getting
sense?
it. Yeah, I'm totally getting this now.
Nice, nice.
Mm.
Okay. That was secondary dominance. Okay. What about let me just stop the share so I can see your pretty faces. What about anybody else? Is there anything else that you need to look at right now before you do? And hopefully you've gotten the assignments to up your grade for the last test that you have those links. I've been sending them through Instagram. I hope that's okay. Um, I did send them once.
You froze.
Let me know when I'm back. I'm back. I'm
You're
back.
back.
Yeah. I'm wondering if while I'm recording that, because every time you say that, I say the S word. So I'm wondering if it's recording me saying that or not, or if I actually freeze. So we'll find out. Anyway, um, yes. So that takes care of inversions for sevenths, triads. You have your homework with you, which you can work on. How do you feel? Do you feel like you just need practice now, or are there any of the questions you need answered?
For me, I think it's just practice.
Okay, perfect.
Same.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. And I video record this, so if you need to go back and go, what are the rules again for diminished chords, and what are the rules again for that? Then you know where they are. Yeah, so
Um,
I'll put the link in the chat.
I have
Thank
one
you.
question before we're done.
Of course.
It's for the assignment due this week though. So we're supposed to take,
Let's do this week. Oh, yes.
yep. So we take two of the lines from the solo and then we label them and do our stuff. Does it have to be just, can we add like extra stuff into it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it can
Yeah.
just be like, okay,
Yeah, and you can just use the rhythm of it too. You don't even have to use the melody.
oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
was wondering.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure. Go wild.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And this is our first time doing that, so that's why I wanted everybody to have it done by tonight so that I have tomorrow to do grading 50 versions of that. So, yeah, which I'm looking forward to. So that's why you hand it in on MuseScore and on eLearn, so I can download them and just play them and go, yep, that's right, on to the next one.
And it's just the first 8 bars, like an A
Just
section
the
that we're
first 8.
making. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because ultimately in the end, it's going to be a 32 bar 32 bar tune that you're going to copy 8, 8, and 8 together. And then the bridge, just so you, spoiler alert. So what the bridge I'm going to be telling everybody on Tuesday is that if your A section was very wordy, like it had a lot of eighth notes and stuff like that, or a lot of triplets and whatever, let's say that's what you picked. For the B section, you need lots of long notes. And then if it had lots of long notes in the A section, you use lots of small notes in the B section. And you use yet a different lick. And that's what the B section is going to be. So it's going to be a piece of cake.
And did you want the changes for the whole tune for this time, or did you want just the 8 bars handed in?
Just the 8 bars is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The 8 bars plus the system on the top with the original licks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect.
And it's the changes of autumn leaves, right?
Or rhythm changes. You can choose.
So we're basically just making contrafacts using those rhythmic ideas.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Okay, perfect.